Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream event with First Pitch Strike. I'm Aaron. Ethan is going to be hopping on later because he just got done with practice. He had to have a couple bullpen sessions with his kids or with his pitchers. And he got home late. He's in the middle of eating, but he will be on later. But until that point in time, we're going to have our friend Bob. He was on last 2 weeks ago on our preseason event. So, Bob, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for joining last minute. Going to have to change things up. I know we promoted that we had a special discussion coming up tonight. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Our guest at that point that was going to be on tonight, he's been sick all day. But I feel that it's a discussion we need to have. I entitled it "Don't Be a Punk" or something like that. Just he's noticed some trends. I'm sure you've noticed it as well. We're just going to touch on it briefly, not spoil anything for him. But basically, all I need to say is the Mississippi State catcher, and that's kind of where not his point of view or discussion came from. There's just some of the preseason games that he saw where people got upset that, oh, hey, the pitcher threw high and tight on accident, ball slips. We see it all the time with Legion kids. They don't have control some days.
Right.
And just how do we fix that? And how do we encourage kids coming up? What you may see on Sports Center or Baseball Tonight, if you're watching MLB, some of the MLB stuff and the highlights that they're providing where all of a sudden the guy's charging the mound. How do we fix that? That's kind of what we're going to talk about when he's on. But he got sick, like I said, so we're not going to do that tonight. I'm sure, Bob, you have some thoughts on that. And I'll just ask you real quick, do you see much of that in Wisconsin, either at the high school level or even the Legion level?
Well, our kids get thrown, yes, but it's not purpose. They're still developing at that age, and things happen. It's cold out, like it is in Wyoming this time of year.
Right.
In baseball, you don't have a good grip on it. It just slips. And I think our batters know that it's not intentional. I think, you kind of get the sense if the guy's really throwing at you or if it was an accident. So I would say 99% of the time, you just shrug it off and say it's part of the game.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Okay. Also, if I turn around, I apologize. It's because I'm upstairs tonight. I am not in the studios. Hey, you two need to be quiet. Lily, quiet. And if you hear dogs growling in the background, it's because they're playing, so I apologize. I'm not in the studio tonight. My wife is actually in Laramie doing a clinical, and she won't be home till about 9:30. So you're stuck with
She's
me.
Not out
dogs.
Scouting the Rangers?
Oh. No, she wouldn't be that in tune with post 6 baseball. She just wouldn't be.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to
basically. I've been trying for 26 years. 26 years.
Hey, it took the Cubs 108 to win the World Series, so you got hope.
Yes. So you're saying I have a chance?
Well, the Germans didn't give up when they bombed Pearl Harbor, so you shouldn't either.
That's true. Yeah, no, she's doing clinicals for her advanced EMT class that she's taking. So she got to go hang out at the fire department over there in Laramie today.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah. So we're gonna head on to something called a national holiday today.
Yeah.
Not sure what that was about. Not like any number one prospect in MLB got called up or anything.
No. And decided to find his way into the lineup tonight either.
No, that didn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah. Although I will say, the look on Matt Holliday's face standing there by the batting cage during batting practice, I feel that. I totally feel that. As a dad, I'm right there with them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I personally like Jackson Holiday. I wish him nothing but the best. I just hope he adapts fast, because if he gets off to a slow start, what's that going to do to his confidence, his psyche, and really, can Baltimore afford to play him at that point? Because they're in contention for that division.
Oh, absolutely.
So you don't want to fall too far behind the Yankees, but you don't
Right.
want the kid to lose confidence in himself either. So
Right.
it'll be
Interesting. And well, and like I told y'all last go around, he's my surprise pick for AL Rookie of the Year. So I need him to live up to his potential and fast. And
well.
I
I'm
think
going to
he'll
stop.
adjust. I just like with you. I don't want him to struggle in adjusting, and I don't want it to take
Right,
a month or two.
right, right. Well, I'm going to give up on picking award winners, because both of my pitchers are on the DL. My MVP is off to a super slow start in Julio, so
Yeah, don't
not
remind me.
good. Yeah, well, I'm trying
Don't.
not to, but
Although
I'm a
my
Julio
my
fan too.
my AL Cy Young bet, he's looking pretty good. Just not
Yeah,
getting the offensive support because
yeah.
your MVP um, isn't hitting.
No, well,
Um,
and
but
I don't
Logan
know what
looked
you're
good
going to do.
today.
Yeah. Well,
Logan,
Kirby looked good the other night, and then he got no run support, and then he had no defense. So,
welcome to being a Seattle Mariner fan.
ugh. Well, could be worse. You could blow an 8-0 lead in the fifth inning, which is still a pet
You,
peeve of mine, but that's all right.
yeah. So yeah, no, I'm excited for Jackson. I honestly wish him nothing but the best. I mean, any of these kids that are coming up that are the number top 10 in Major League Baseball prospects. I really I want nothing but the best for them. I want people to succeed. I
Right.
don't care if you're not even ranked and you get called up. I want you to succeed. The Astros pitcher tonight, no, nobody. I mean, he was what their number one, number two prospect, pitching prospect. He
Hmm.
got called up tonight. He looked good through 2 innings. Then
Well,
Kansas City started typing his pitches.
that's a big adjustment, though, too, when you're coming up from Double A, some cases
Oh
Triple
yeah.
A, first major league start. The nerves are going.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adjustment.
Oh,
Hopefully, they figure it
absolutely.
out fast.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Some people can make that adjustment really quick.
Right.
Others can't.
Right.
Others cannot. Which I think Hancock there in Seattle is. Whew, he had a rough go this last outing, and I think he's gonna he's gonna struggle if he keeps throwing darts
Well,
right
I
down
was
the
thinking,
middle.
I was listening to that game on my drive to Billings. I wonder if what the Cubs did when Imanaga, making him start at home his first two games, maybe that settled the nerves. Hitchcock started, that was his first road game,
It was.
so maybe he pitched differently. That error in the first inning killed him too.
Oh yeah.
That he got out of that inning when runs scored, but then the floodgates opened. But maybe there's something to that, letting those young guys start at home for their first, second, maybe third start, and
I
then
could
ease them
see
in on
that.
the road. You know,
Well, okay, so you say that I like the thinking. How do you pull that off though? If you've got a 5-man rotation, you only get he only gets one rotation at home because you only get 6 games. Maybe 9 if
right?
you're lucky. You could have two, but if you only get 6 games, his next rotation by natural rotation is going to be on the road. So how would you achieve that? Would you do a spot start from a bullpen day? I mean, how would you make that work, or could you get that to
Well,
work?
that's what the Cubs did with Imanaga. They bullpenned the last game on the road so he could start that first game at home, and then he
Okay,
pitched the last game at home. So they went days between. He pitched day 1 and day 6.
okay.
So I think he's pitching this weekend in Seattle. That'll be interesting. See how he does there. First road game.
No, no. Seattle make him look like a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we'll see.
I mean,
you know.
Julio struck out what 3, 4 times today. So, um, Yeah, yeah. I mean, the focus of the offseason for the Mariners was to reduce the strikeout rate, and well, they're ahead of pace from last year.
Well, they got to move
Go
Julio out of
offense.
that two spot. He's not a two hitter. Move him
Yes,
down
he
to
is.
3 or 4.
No, he's a two
Well,
hitter.
well, he didn't do well at the leadoff spot last year, and finally Service moved him
No.
out of there.
Yeah, he moved him to the two, and look what he did at the two hole. He
Yeah, in
had an
June, July, and
MVP
August.
caliber. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
See,
entire
he's
Mariners office, June, July, and August.
well. Maybe we should put a Julio at 6, and then move him up to 2 and after the All Star break. You know? And Julio, if you're listening, I'm just a concerned fan. That's all.
Just a concerned fan, right? Speaking of Julio and two hitter, how about let's go to a number three hitter? And May, stop it. Sorry, the blind, dumb, blind, deaf one just loves to bark. Nothing. Or at the other dog to say, hey, I want to play. But the other dog just doesn't want to
Well,
play.
yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, so we'll move down to the three hitter and Mike Trout. And Ethan sent me a picture on Facebook that was mighty impressive. Hold that thought just a second. Hey, hey, shush it. Shush it. Yes, I know, you're excited. See, I walk over there and she stops barking. And now she comes to my feet. Mike Trout, he's kind of good. He's been a
Kinda.
3-4 hitter his entire life. Yeah, exactly. A 3-4 hitter his entire life. That dog. But mostly three now. And these are numbers that include with Shohei hitting behind him, which is quite scary when you think about it. But Mike Trout has hit 10 consecutive solo home runs dating back to last season. So every home run he has this year, which is what, 6?
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6, I don't remember,
Yep.
have all been solo home runs. He now has hit 235 of his 373 home runs with nobody on base. That is 63% of his home runs have all been solo home runs.
Yep. And that besides the pitching woes for the Angels are why they
Oh,
never won when they had the great offense.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
well, even I can't believe the Angels are 500. How are they 6-6 with Trout hitting all the solo home runs? I mean,
Uh,
I know it's baseball, but that just defies gravity.
how are the Astros as bad as what they look right now? I mean, that's really what you could ask. Or how is it the A's win 2 consecutive by outscoring their opponent, what, 15-1 or something like that?
Well, how does Shea Langoliers hit 3 home runs in one game? He
And
hasn't hit 3
still,
home runs in years.
no, he hasn't. When he hit that third one, it was the third run for the team, too. So they were
Yeah.
all, speaking of solo home runs, there you go.
Well, I mean, do the A's ever have a big inning though? I mean, they're built on 1-run innings. So,
Well, they're, they're built. I don't know if it's to even have 1-run innings.
well, I mean, occasionally Day gets a hit here and there, and
Well, if Langoliers isn't careful, he's going to get sent back to the minors so they can keep tanking.
well, well, yeah, he's on pace to hit 200 for the year. So, yeah, tame down them expectations a little.
I don't understand. But now here's the other part of the story here. The only player in MLB history to have at least 373 homers with 60% or more being solo shots was at 60.4. Can you name him, first of all?
Is it modern era or
Modern era. Yes. Well, not very modern era, but recent modern era.
I was thinking
He
Daryl
had he had a
Strawberries.
nope. He had a fairly lengthy career with the Cubs too.
Well, of course he did. Sandberg?
No,
No.
no, no. Then he went to the Yankees.
Rizzo?
No.
No. Well, that's good. I'd kill myself if I was Rizzo.
I'm sure you would. Nope.
Soriano?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, I
Yes,
guess
sir.
so. Soriano kind of batted at the top of the lineup when he was
Yep.
with the
He
Cubs. So,
he hit 249 solo shots of his 412 home runs.
wow.
So
That explains why they never won too.
so there is your useless Cubs trivia that you could, maybe win a bar game or something with.
When I go to a Cubs game, I'll bring that up at the Cubby Bear.
And see, there you go.
Yeah.
Just go, you ding dong. Just go. Okay, I gotta throw the little one out the door now. The big
Now,
one wanted to go. The little one doesn't want to.
you should read a disclaimer that no dogs are harmed in the making of this video, just in
that
case
is
Pete is watching.
that is very true. Yeah. Oh, God help us all if they're watching.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we need to start talking some rodeo and really wrinkle their feathers
Hey, I
or
saw a
ruffle
lot
their
of the
feathers.
PBR guys. They're in Billings this weekend.
Are
They're
they?
staying at the
Hey,
same
there you go.
hotel. Yeah.
Nice.
The only
That's
bad thing
nice.
is I root for the cows. So
I mean, if you're rooting for cows at a rodeo, you might be at a very different rodeo. Unless it's the steer wrestling.
or you might be a different kind of redneck. It depends on how your interpretation is.
That's fair. That's
Just
fair.
saying.
Actually, I do enjoy watching the steer wrestling.
Yeah.
That gets pretty nasty. Jan and I went to the finals one year here in Cheyenne, and one of the steer wrestlers lost,
Wow.
and it was bad enough that I actually saw the leg snap in half in real time.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
That's not good.
no, no, it was bad,
Hmm.
really bad. He had the steer until he hit the ground,
Yeah. Not good.
and no, no, it was bad. So there's Mike Trout numbers. I don't know how they're 6-6. I don't know how they haven't lost more with those numbers and with the pitching that they've had. I'm still not afraid of their pitching this year.
No.
It,
Well, they had that 3-game series with Miami when they were winless. And not taking anything away because you still have to go out there and play the game and win. But
but it's Miami,
yeah,
and
I
Miami's not good this year.
it would be nice though if Trout could keep the numbers up and sneak into the would he be MVP race on a losing team? I don't
It
know.
doesn't happen very often,
No.
um, which I think is part of why, even though the Mariners had a winning record, they didn't make the playoffs, and I think that's part of why Julio did not get more
Right.
MVP votes
Right.
last year. I think it's why Aaron Judge did he win MVP last year?
That's
I don't remember.
I don't
I
think so.
don't. I don't remember who won MVP last year.
Yeah.
I'll pull this up real quick. AL MVP. I don't think he did. Oh, sure. Don't give it to me right away. Oh, it was Shohei,
Oh yeah.
and he needed to win.
I wonder if
So
you
he
think he
was on
bet
a
on
losing team.
you think he
Shohei
bet
was
on
on a losing team. Huh?
you think he bet on himself to win the AL MVP?
Well, I guess if streakers at the Super Bowl bet on themselves to see a streaker, anything's possible.
You know, I did see a joke that said maybe Pete Rose needed an interpreter, and he would have gotten it.
That is a valid point.
Not,
Okay, so here's one for you though. You say that, and were interpreters used back in the day? Were they like a part of the team when Rose is playing? I mean,
I
you
don't
had
know.
guys from foreign countries.
Yeah, We never heard of
Definitely.
them if they were. I think the only foreign guy I ever saw in the dugout that wasn't part of the team was Yosh Kawana with the Cubs. He was like the equipment manager, but he was always in the dugout. So I don't know. That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Because, I mean, I know Ichiro had an interpreter, but you never saw him unless it was
Yeah.
at a press conference.
Right. And then he didn't he just wore like a Mariners jacket. He wasn't in
Yes.
uniform.
No.
Yeah. That's a good question.
No. Huh. I don't have time to research that, though.
You have to get your crack staff on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My hardworking crack staff.
Right. Yes.
So hardworking, I pay them the big bucks of, about the same thing I get paid.
Well, you do have a good network of friends behind you, so
I do. They're just as busy as I am, though. That's
well,
the thing.
we'll have to make time to research this.
It might take me a year, but I'm sure we can find out. You know who I could probably ask is Tracy Ringlesby.
Oh yeah,
He
a
might
walking
know.
encyclopedia of baseball and all
Yes.
things sports.
Yes.
Yes.
That was the big one, barking at the little one for trying to bite her. Okay,
Poor
move,
Lily.
doggies. Yeah, Lily's old and grumpy already, and she's only 4.
Well,
She doesn't want to be bothered, so oh well. Yeah, so angels, they're pretty stupid with the way they've built everything. So we're going to transition into the Don't Be Stupid award just because it's something that I actually enjoy doing. Hey, you, be quiet, little nut. Yes, I know, you're right there. But it's our Don't Be Stupid award. And a couple weeks ago, we crowned Angel Hernandez as the winner of said award. That was like his 4th time of winning the award.
that we know
I
of.
could, yeah, well,
Yeah.
at least on the podcast that I can
Right.
remember.
Right.
Um, and he could easily win it this week for what he did. Did you see what he did?
Mm-hmm.
How do you miss the guy stepping off the rubber?
Well, it is Angel Hernandez. You gotta wonder though, what is he looking at? I mean, it's you have one job, one job. You gotta watch the pitcher's feet. What you get paid well to watch pitcher's feet.
He, he can't. It doesn't matter where he's at
No.
on the field. He is that bad. He's that bad. So what I figured we would do, and I wish Ethan was on, but he'll find out as soon as he hops on. We're renaming the Don't Be Stupid Award. Everybody has a name for their awards. Everybody has a name for their bowl games and their stadiums and the Cy Young Award winner. I mean, you have all these awards, so we're changing it up this week. We now have the Angel Hernandez Don't Be Stupid Award. Just because that way he is included every week. You cannot miss him now. He is automatically an award winner because, well, there's the award. So, I have a nominee for the Don't Be Stupid Award this week. Do you have one?
Yeah, I don't know the person's name though. During the women's Final Four press conference before the semifinal game, a
Yes.
reporter actually asked Caitlin Clark if she had to win a championship to be considered a good player. Now, unless you crawled out from under a rock, Caitlin Clark has done more for Queens Athletics than anybody ever. I mean, how she's? I think her last 5 games played are the top 5 most watched games ever
Yes.
in basketball. But
Yes.
but it's more than that though. It's what she's done for kids coming up, boys and girls playing basketball or just playing sports in general. to ask that stupid question, does she have to win a championship? Clearly, she does
No,
not have to win a championship to be good.
no.
So the reporter that asked that gets my "Don't Be Stupid" nomination.
I cannot fathom asking that question.
Ain't that something?
Wow. Because the women's national championship this year had better ratings than the men's championship.
Yep. Yep.
And that was because of Caitlin Clark.
Right. And you could argue it
So,
was a better game too. It was
yeah,
like
you
an
absolutely
overall
could.
game. So yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, my award winner is kind of along that same lines, in as much as um, it's a journalist. Mine usually Lookout Landing puts out some decent stuff. It's one of the online periodicals that cover the Seattle Mariners. And they typically put out some decent stuff. Every once in a while, I read it and I'm like, I don't. Why? You're just telling me a whole bunch of nothing just to write something, and that just sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I get it. I write. I put stuff out. I put one out a couple weeks ago. It was fun for me, but I told you a whole bunch of nothing with random numbers from Statcast, just because I wanted to have some fun. Um, but this last one that stuck out and why he's winning is you and I off camera before we hopped in the studio commented on Hancock. No, I it might have been while we were live. I don't remember about Kirby Hancock, and he was writing an article about Kirby Hancock and talking about some of his numbers and how they weren't very favorable to the StatCast portion of things, and how he got lucky in his first game getting the win. And sure, you're a rookie, take the luck. I'll take a luck anytime a rookie wins. Um, but he was looking. The one number he was looking at is the first pitch strike percentage rate, and I chuckled. When we're at a game and we're coaching, or we're covering on the radio, or we're in the stands and you're the dad, what's the one thing you want your kid who's pitching to do?
Throw strikes.
Throw strikes.
Right.
When you throw the first, there's a reason why this podcast is called First Pitch Strike. It's because, well, you want the first pitch strike. It makes your job as a pitcher easier, correct?
Usually.
In theory. In
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy said that Kirby Hancock threw too many first pitch strikes. He threw 73+% of first pitch strikes. Cool. But his argument for being against it is the simple fact that guys were hitting the ball really hard. Like the hard hit rate that he was giving up was some like 75% of those were hard hit, and they were just going straight to defenders and they were being caught, or they were hard line drives that bounced once to the infielder who threw them out. He didn't induce double plays. He didn't induce many ground balls. It was a strikeout or a fly ball. And therefore, because people were waiting on that first pitch strike to be thrown, he needs to throw fewer left first pitch strikes. I've never heard of such a thing.
No. Well, isn't he a fly ball pitcher anyway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it just doesn't, it didn't, when I read that, I'm like, why would you do that? Because then you make your job harder and you throw more pitches.
Right.
And you don't want to make your job harder.
Right.
As a pitcher. It doesn't make sense to do that. At least in my book. So for me,
at any level, you shouldn't not throw first pitch strikes.
Right.
You learn that in Little League.
Yes. Now, I can. There you go. You had to wait for me to get up to throw you outside. or push you outside. Um, I can make an argument that every once in a while you'll want to throw just off the plate on the first pitch to change it up and try and see if a guy will go fishing.
Right.
I can make that argument, but not to decrease it overall.
No.
I mean, ask Ethan. Some of the games where he really struggled, he was throwing 50, 55% first pitch strikes. The games that he was doing really well, it was the 70, 75%. That's
Here's another question for your crack staff. I wonder what Greg Maddox's first pitch strike ratio was. I would think it's up there because
oh, it has to be up there.
I would think because I saw him throw a complete game in an hour and a half, and
Yeah,
under the old
yeah,
rule. So
yeah.
yeah,
I watched him throw a complete game in under 2 hours because I didn't have the privilege of being able to go to the stadium like you did.
yeah. Well, just happened to be there for the Cubs Braves game, and wanted to spend a whole afternoon at Wrigley, and 90 minutes later the game's over. That's the day
That
I
wasn't the
hated
whole
Greg.
afternoon.
No, I know.
Besides losing to him all the time, he threw too fast, so you really hated him.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't hate him for the Cubs losing. I just hate him because it only took an hour and a half. Just prolong my pain, please.
Right. But that's a fantastic question because you look at what he did over his career. He didn't walk many people.
No.
It wasn't just that he was efficient in as much as getting that ball over the plate
Right.
and inducing the double plays or whatever it was.
Right.
He just didn't walk people.
Right.
And that is the counterpoint to this. Whoever wrote the article's name is to you got to throw first pitch strikes.
Right.
It just
Well, Maddox may be the counterpoint to today's pitching philosophy too, because you don't have to throw 90, 95 to be an all-star pitcher.
no.
You just have to be around the plate.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and he is also kind of the counterpoint for why you want umpires behind the plate and not robo umpires
Oh, absolutely.
because he loved that outside.
Yeah.
He abused the outside of the plate.
Well, he gave new meaning to the black of the plate.
Yes, he did.
We were borderline chalk line of the other batter's box, and he was getting calls.
That's true. So okay, so here's let's go back in history and let's go back in time. Maybe even include a picture from today because I have one, but maybe two. But what pitchers? Give me five of them. Four more other than Maddox, so another four of pitchers who defy today's philosophy and StatCast era and number manipulation. Give me another four that would do that.
I would say Jake Arrieta in his prime. So like 12
like
and
that.
17, something like that. Tom Smoltz.
Yep.
I was gonna say Jack McDowell when he pitched for the White Sox, but he had a fastball though, so
he did have a fastball.
I don't know if he clocked in the mid 90s though, but
no, but he didn't. What you saw is what you got with him.
Yeah, I saw him throw a complete game one hitter, and the one hit was the first batter of the game. He then retired 27 straight. So anyway,
okay.
I would say Dave Stewart when he was with the A's.
Yes.
And then of course you got the proverbial Negro brothers. Just pick one.
I would go more with Phil, just because of success.
Right. Well,
Joe had success, but not longevity.
Well, nobody could hit Phil's 40-mile-an-hour knuckleball, so and he's in the Hall of Fame without the Emery board.
Yeah. Well, did they have the Emery board there though?
Oh, I'm
Because
sure they do.
wouldn't they have confiscated it? I mean, they confiscated it in the game.
Right.
But is that something they would have thought? Hey, let's just send this to the Hall of Fame just for kicks and giggles.
Well, does
I would
anybody
hope
know what's
so.
in the air-conditioned archives?
No,
Stuffed in a box somewhere, so it could be there.
it could
You know?
be. So
There is
my four, my head, no, correction, my heart wants to say Nolan Ryan, but that's only because he just pitched. He was the workhorse,
yeah,
where you don't have workhorses today, but boy, could he throw.
right.
He threw heat. So I can't use him just because of the heat. But I would have to go um, a Tim Wakefield.
Ooh.
Um, also watching yesterday's opening ceremonies from Boston,
Hmm.
the little that I got to watch on replay, dude, if you cannot be romantic about baseball, just leave, just go away.
Yeah.
Because watching his daughter throw out that first pitch with the team behind her was emotional.
I forgot he was on their World Series team.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yep. I
You don't
think didn't
remember
he
him
get
for that though.
no? Didn't he get a win?
Yeah.
I want to say he got a win.
Yeah. Was it game 3? I want to say game 3.
Ooh, no, now that I don't remember, but I do remember him getting a win because nobody could hit him
No.
that
No.
knuckleball. So Tim Wakefield, I would actually go with a Steve Trout,
Oh,
um,
the rainbow.
Rainbow,
Yeah.
Rainbow Steve
Yes.
Trout. um, yeah, I first didn't he play in Chicago with the Cubs?
Oh yes, the number 2 pitcher in the '84 championship team.
Okay, because
Yes.
that's why I remember him. And then shortly after that, he landed in Seattle.
Yeah, he didn't
Um,
do much.
no, but he buckled Jose Canseco's knees,
Well, yes.
and that was hilarious. Um, I would also go with Jamie Moyer,
Ooh.
the older Jamie Moyer,
Yeah.
in the twilight of his career, when he went from Seattle, had all the success there in Seattle, but then he went to Philadelphia and finished out a pretty stellar career.
Hmm.
He couldn't touch 85 with his fastball. So
Which is
there's,
probably why he lasted so long, though. Because
oh,
didn't he play
absolutely.
close to 15 years? I
Yeah,
want to say he did.
yeah, he
Yeah.
did. I want to say he retired at what, 15 or 16 years at that.
Yeah.
I think you're right on it. Um, who's another one? I gotta think of this. Um, Dan Quisenberry,
Hmm.
because he was sidearm for one. For two, he somehow got out, and he actually was an all-star a couple times too.
Yeah, and he had a good defense behind him, too, in Kansas City.
Hey, success is the team.
Oh, absolutely. Well, absolutely. Yeah.
So, uh, I mean, shoot, you can't throw a no hitter unless you've got the team behind you playing the defense because you can't strike everybody out. I'd like to strike everybody out, but you can't.
Yeah. Well,
But so there's my four additional ones.
yeah,
I had
those are
to
good.
I had to dig deep for some of those.
That was a good list.
I like your list. I like
Well,
your list.
I can't believe you brought up Rainbow Trout.
Oh, come on. He was an all-star.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm not saying wasn't. Just saying that's a blast from the past. And brought back horrible memories of San Diego
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
and Leon Durham.
Sorry.
I just got out of rehab for that, don't you?
Oh,
Ah,
well, that's at least one rehab stint you've not told me about.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
only
there's
one.
I'm sure there's other rehab stints you haven't told me about.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Well, so there's our Don't Be Stupid award winners. journalist with Caitlin Clark and a journalist in Seattle saying stop throwing first pitch strikes. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But since I brought up Dan Quisenberry in Kansas City, let's talk about the Kansas City Royals. First of all, I was disappointed we didn't get to meet up in Kansas City last year like we had initially planned. Um, but have you ever been to that stadium or by that stadium?
No, and I would love to go see it.
I've been by it on the interstate, and then wait a minute, hold up, 24. So 22, no, it was 20. 22, Janda found a Christmas concert she wanted to go to. And I'm like, but Janda, we could go to Denver for a Christmas concert because we've got quite a few coming through Denver and Loveland and the surrounding area that's a lot closer than Kansas City. Nope. She wanted to go see Danny Goki out in Kansas City for a Christmas special concert. So we drove 9 hours to Kansas City on a December morning, Saturday morning in December.
Hmm.
Fine. No big deal. Was it Saturday? No, it was a Friday morning. That's right, because we spent a full day in Kansas City, but we drove through on a Friday, um, which was fine. No, an extra day off of work. Don't have to worry about the stresses there. But 9 hours to Kansas City, and on Sunday we actually decided to. We went to church at one of the artists that used to work with. He's the worship pastor at a church down there in Kansas City, so we went there. Well, we asked him, "Hey, where do we get some good barbecue?" You're in Kansas City, you got to have barbecue, right? Makes sense to me. And he told us where, so I punched it into Google Maps and threw it on, and it took us around and around, straight, turn here, turn there. I have no, it's Kansas City. I don't know where I'm at. Next thing I know, bam, we are at the parking lot entrance of Arrowhead and Royals and Kauffman Stadium. And I'm like, I've never seen this side of the stadium. This is freaking cool. These are big. And they share a parking lot. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I knew that, but I don't remember. So yeah, they share a pretty massive parking lot. Um, and while I was there, I discovered that there's some questions about the well-being of the stadiums or the longevity of the stadiums or both. And on the news, I caught that they were talking about moving towards Kansas City, Kansas. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So um, here's Ethan.
Hi,
Hey, what up, dude?
Right
I'm
on
here.
time.
Sorry.
Yep. No, you're good, man. We're talking about Kansas City, real quick.
Oh, Bobby Witt Jr. is what comes to mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna touch on him in a second.
See,
Bo
So
Jackson.
I think of the Pine Tar incident when George Breton against the Yankees.
Oh, that too. Yeah,
Not to rub it into any KC fans that may be listening, but
that was a good one.
who knows? But so now they had a referendum last month, was it, Bob?
yes,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it was for both stadiums, Kauffman and Arrowhead. Um, and both teams are discussing moving or threatening to move to Kansas City, Kansas, and what that would look like. Does Kansas City really want them? Do they not want them? It was some pretty interesting discussion, but I just kind of, who cares? And then all of a sudden, this referendum comes up, and then you see uh, letters to the fans from both the Chiefs front office and the Royals front office, and how they want to stay in Kansas City, but the community has spoken and the county has spoken, and what in the blazes is going on there? And if they really do leave, one, where did the Chiefs go? And then two, where do the Royals go? Thoughts?
Well, I'm going to speak on that from the Wisconsin standpoint. So a couple years ago, the Bucks had threatened to move out, unless they got a new arena and a referendum. Now that was on the heels, probably 10, 15 years maybe, after the Brewers secured public funding for AmFam Field. Well, the Milwaukee County, Racine County was against the Bucks getting money for a new stadium. But if you let a pro sports team leave, you're talking millions upon millions of dollars out of your local economy, and you will
Mhm.
never get a team back. So you have to work out your differences. But I mean, I agree that the taxpayer shouldn't be on the bill on the flip the bill for building a multi-million-dollar stadium. But you can't let a team leave either. You have
Agree. Agree. I'm still waiting for the Sonics to return to Seattle.
well, yeah, they should have never left. But
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
yeah, that's
I,
another.
I legitimately cried the day they left Seattle.
You know,
All the way here in Wyoming, I was crying. So, Ethan, do you have thoughts about relocation?
I don't know. There's so much to go on about relocation, even with Vegas
Yeah,
or Oakland.
yeah.
I
Which
haven't
they may
heard
not
too.
move now.
I haven't
Well,
heard too much about the Kansas City deal, but
yeah. Which we're here in Wyoming. We wouldn't typically
shut
hear
up.
anything. He has a dog too, apparently. I just, I hurt for any fan base where all of a sudden we're being threatened with the team moving.
hmm
It's not conducive to getting fans to the stadium unless they're in the parking lot. It's not conducive to an economy, like you said, Bob. Um, the dollars that are generated on a nightly basis is just ridiculous. And that was before you were paying $30 for a 16-ounce beer at Yankee Stadium.
right. Well, and plus all the people that it employs. You know,
Right.
I think the Bucks were somewhere like 125 on game days they were employing. Well,
Okay,
so
I can
you're
see
going to have
that.
a lot of people out of work.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. I'm surprised it was just 125. Was it Bucks themselves or was it the concessions people as well?
yeah, it was concessions, ushers, parking lot attendants,
Okay.
stuff like
Okay.
that. So,
Okay.
you know,
That's fair. Yeah, I can't I can't I it's hard to grasp. I fully support your millionaire owners, billionaire owners, building these new stadiums. And if you have to have any publicly funded money, you'd better keep it to as little as possible. And you better be fitting at least 80% of that bill. My opinion.
right.
Seattle, one of the reasons why they didn't get the Kraken as soon as they could have was because of that not fitting the bill with public money. Because Seattle voters said no. I get it. They needed to remodel Key Arena at the time, Key Arena, which is now Climate Pledge. Um, and the public eventually did pay for it, but initially they weren't going to. So I get it. And I fully support the fact that the fans are saying, no, we've got too much we have to pay for as it is. We're not sports fans.
hmm
I get it. The city, kudos to them, but oof, I can't imagine seeing Kansas City jump ship in 5 years for Nashville. I mean, it'd be cool to have an MLB team in Nashville, but Nashville Royals just doesn't sound the same.
No. Well, and if that happens, like I was asking you before, what happens to the Nashville Sounds? You know, they're a Brewers affiliate. Would they? I mean, I'm going to be selfish. Maybe they move them to Appleton. And maybe well, they're single A teams in Appleton now, and
Yeah.
they're putting a lot of money into Fox City Stadium to improve it. I mean, playing surface wise, probably is a triple A field, but stadium wise, nowhere close. You know, it doesn't hold that many people. The community, I think, is probably too small for a triple A team, but be close to Milwaukee.
Well, okay, so Seattle, their single A affiliate is in Everett. It's a massive town. but it's only a single A team.
Right.
So um, I don't think size really matters, does it?
Well, what's Tacoma? Are they still the AAA team for the Mariners?
Yeah, yeah, they are.
How big is
Yep.
that?
Oh, it's the second largest city in Washington.
Oh, so they got a little
So
bit of capital base to draw off of.
yeah, but they actually draw. They don't draw a lot of people from Tacoma because the majority of Tacoma is pretty depressed. But they're drawing people from south of Tacoma and east of Tacoma.
Hmm.
So they're drawing people from the suburbs. Really, I mean, they get their fair share of people from Tacoma, but it's not a lot of Tacoma people.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But then you look at Modesto. You got the Modesto Nuts.
Yeah.
You've got what's what is the I can't even think of the town. The Sugarland. You got the Sugarland Space Cowboys or whatever they are down there in Texas.
Oh yeah, they have super cool jerseys.
Yeah, they do.
MLB The Show 24 has them.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah, it's got everything.
But I mean, you're looking and you have that's the AAA team for the Astros, but Sugarland isn't really that big, is it? I mean, it's Texas, so everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Appleton has a chance.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
The Royals move to Nashville.
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't they have a chance? I'd like to see Appleton get a AAA team.
Nope. Fighting pups.
Yep, fighting pups. Move away. Get into the living room.
I think they need their own segment. It could be sponsored by Purina.
I've got plenty of videos to put together.
Yes, he does. All he has to do is the bell, and then he'll play some Rocky music. I have an idea. You two carry on for just a second, because we're done with the Kansas City talk. We're just going to go back, discuss random, and for Ethan, I'll jump backwards a little bit when I get back. But I've got a solution for the dogs.
Yeah, we're okay. We don't need to jump backwards.
So Ethan, opening day coming up Saturday. Excited for the new season?
Yeah, super excited. We got a pretty good team this year, so.
Oh, well, I know.
Majority of guys returning, so.
The only bad part is it seems like it takes forever till you get to July. We get back to where you were last year.
Come on. Hey,
with state tournament and that go rolling into nationals and
even just like even kind of just like restarting and reteaching everybody everything since they forgot over the 6 months. It's kind of just annoying.
Oh yeah,
but you gotta give them a refresher. So
yeah,
it's going pretty good though. Got a lot of good arms, decent arms. Got a guy that's a junior committed to Texas Longhorns. So that's pretty cool. Got a couple guys looking at JUCOs right now. Personally, they're better than JUCOs, but just a starting point. So they got a year or so left. So they'll definitely go somewhere. Got a couple college guys returning, so that'll help.
That'll help. Yep.
Yeah. So no, we got majority of the team returning, and I think it'll be a pretty decent year.
Well, you got a lot of motivation too to finish unfinished business from last year.
Oh yeah. Part of me wants to really go back and win that thing. I mean, we were so close last year. Why not just go win it?
Yeah, and to lose the way you did, that's probably the most heartbreaking of all. A 2-1 loss. I mean, I know Texas won a championship, but still,
to
be that close.
Yeah, that Lincoln team was. I think, that Lincoln Nebraska team was pretty good too. They had bigger dudes and they were fast and they just played catch better than we did at the end of the day. So,
are you guys going to Omaha? I didn't look at your schedule for this year.
Yeah, Yeah, we're going to Omaha, and then after that, I think we have a tournament in Cheyenne or something like that. And then we go to Pueblo, and then uh, Texas or something. We go all over the place this year.
I didn't see the schedule for Omaha, but is Lincoln? Do they play in that one?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know
I
what
would
they do. I've never
assume,
seen them there, but
yeah, I would assume they might, but I have no idea. I mean, especially with them making it to, or with them making it how far they did, it wouldn't surprise me if they were in the same tournament just to try and say what's up to Creighton Prep that's there that plays in that thing. So,
yeah, and that's a team we try to beat every year.
oh yeah,
Creighton
them
Prep.
Creighton Prep, yeah, because they're just cocky, rich kids that get everything they want,
Yeah, yeah. I've
and
heard that
they're
from a lot of people.
oh,
It's a poor Catholic
it
school
hasn't
just
changed.
struggling to get by.
It hasn't changed. Even when I played there, and they just ran their mouths, and then you end up beating them, and then oh no,
So yeah, they go to Lubbock, Texas, Omaha, which is it's actually the Creighton tournament too.
yeah,
In
Creighton
Um,
Lubbock?
host.
they're-
No,
no,
in Omaha.
in
Oh,
Omaha.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's the and it's a pretty nice field. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty nice field. Um, they go up to Rapid City for a tournament. They're
We go up there
playing.
twice. So one's a 3 game series, and
Yep,
then
the tournament.
the other's a. We got this. We're gonna go undefeated in the tournament again.
Yeah, yeah. They go down to the Nooch there in Pueblo. They're doing a new tournament this year in Greeley. It's a memorial tournament for the Greeley team.
For the
Um,
Gojos.
yep. And who? I think that's it. I don't remember. But yeah, they're gonna get some miles this year.
That's good though.
That Lubbock trip is long.
Yeah, I looked at flights. They're only $144.
Why would
I
you
was just met,
fly to Lubbock?
I was messing around with Laz at practice, and I just wanted to see how much the flights were.
Oh boy, that's
Aaron,
funny.
the better question is why wouldn't you fly to Lubbock?
I mean, that's I guess a good question
It's
too.
way better than driving on a bus with 18 dudes,
Yes, it
high
is.
school dudes to be exact.
Yes, it is.
And I have to be stuck in the front, cramped up,
Well,
no room to move.
at least it's the front of the bus, not the back of the
Yeah.
bus.
I'm not Rosa Parks.
Ouch. Hey, easy.
That slipped out. I'm so sorry.
That was not right. You're gonna get so canceled now.
That's
Yep.
that.
You didn't.
Please
You did
do it.
not.
I did
Oh,
not mean to. It slipped out. I was thinking it, and I did not mean to say it.
The look on your face when you realized you did say it out loud actually was kind of fun. Was funnier.
I did not mean to say that.
Was much funnier.
I'm
you
very
know,
sorry. I apologize.
Ethan. I can feel your pain on those bus rides sitting in the front of the bus. Um.
At least I'm not behind the wheel.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
I gotta have a CDL if I drive a bus. The vans, that might suck a little bit, but that's okay.
That would
Yeah.
be worse than a bus.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
Mhm.
No, we have a new van though, Ethan.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
pretty
old
sharp
one,
looking. The deer one. Yeah, he was on the van when Colby hit it. Hit a
Mm.
deer.
no, that was the year before me, but I almost hit a deer
Oh,
with Colby when I was driving.
okay.
We were coming back from Casper, and that turnaround Douglas, a deer jumped out in front of me. Missed it by half a hair. Going 70
Deers
miles an hour.
deers do a lot of damage to vehicles. A
And I
lot.
had like every kid in the bus, in the van.
You what?
I had like every kid in the van
Oh,
almost. It was almost a full van.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I am going to go back a little bit. I know you said don't go backwards, but I've
You
renamed
can
the
only
Don't Be.
move forwards.
I know, but this is forward for you. I
Oh,
renamed the
okay.
Don't Be Stupid Award
Uh,
to the Angel Hernandez Don't Be Stupid Award.
just
I
call
figured
it the Angel Hernandez Award.
instead of him winning every week, I figured we needed to provide a way to commemorate his legacy of stupidity
His
and figured he could
legacy
win
of
it.
sucking. His legacy of terrible at being. It's he's just bad at everything he does. Do you see the solar eclipse the other day? You want to know
He
what
didn't.
he
Yeah,
probably missed that too.
you missed
No, I didn't see
Yep.
it. That's
Yep.
just like the step off the mound quick pitch. You can't do that.
Yep. That's exactly. See, that's exactly what I told Bob. How
Yeah.
do you miss that?
Well, that's what I
It's
said.
not the. It's just obvious. It's in
Wait,
plain sight.
Yeah.
that's where
Plain
we need to
sight.
have a job description of Angel Hernandez. When you're umping the bases, what exactly is your job? I mean, you have to watch the pitcher's feet. You're not watching him throw. Well,
Like
maybe
I
he
get
is. I
the
don't know.
home plate umpire has to watch a lot, but the base umpire should have helped him out.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
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 The
Yeah.
base umpire
Well,
should have actually seen that call at first.
you umpire games from behind the pitcher's mound
And I'm
and
better.
were more precise than Angel is.
I'm so much better. It's not even close. I haven't even gone to umpiring school. And if you put me in a matchup behind the plate between me and Angel Hernandez, I guarantee I'm gonna get a higher percentage score.
Dude, I'm blind and could get a higher percentage
I'll
than you.
put $100,000. I'll put $100,000 that I don't have on it. I'm that confident.
I still think if you put a cardboard cutout of an umpire, the cardboard cutout would rate higher.
Yes.
You know,
A
Yes.
fish could probably do better.
depends on what kind of fish.
Okay, I
Guppies
do
don't
have a
have good
question.
eyes. So.
I have a couple questions actually. Since we're on this random talk
Yes,
activated.
sir. Yes, sir.
Did you guys see Brandon Nimmo's day the other day
Where he went 4 for 4.
with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs?
Yeah, have a game,
Yeah.
Brandon now.
That's career day. Also, does anybody know how Jackson Holiday did tonight?
He was at one point in time 0 for 2, and that's when Bob and I hopped into the studio. But let's go look it up real quick.
Yeah, he was 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and they were midway through that game. I want to
Who
say
were
fifth
they?
or sixth inning.
Who was pitching?
Boston. Oh, I don't. The guy I have not heard of.
Oh,
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, so they were down 5-0 when I hopped on here. Oh, you're going to do this to me. I hate MLB. And they were playing Boston. Boston was looking pretty good, actually. Oh, this page is so slow. Texas is up 6-1 over Oakland. Anybody cares?
is that a surprise?
No.
Hey, the A's were coming on.
Actually, they were. Kansas City has just absolutely embarrassed Houston 10-2, and it kind of makes me happy.
That hat is so
So,
sick. That baby blue hat. I love baby blue.
yes. So Baltimore actually came back to win 7-5,
How did
which
Jackson do?
I'm pulling it up right now. I almost clicked MLB TV, and that would have been a mistake. Although I can tell you that watching 4 baseball games and a hockey game at the same time is really exhausting. Just putting that out there.
As a fan of those 4 teams, or just in general?
So it was the Kraken hockey game and the Mariner game, and then just 3 other random games, and it was
Who did they
tough.
trade? Who did they trade for Grubauer? Because that wasn't Grubauer last night.
It's a good question. So Holiday was 0 for 4, but he did get an RBI.
Hey, that's fine. It's a big adjustment.
So,
It's a big
yep,
adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
yep. So let's
It's got
let's
to rub
actually
off.
just let's actually say that Ethan and I, like I told you earlier, Bob, I don't know, was it about a 30-minute discussion? We didn't say Holiday's name or the Baltimore Orioles organization name
We didn't
last
say
night.
anything. No, it was
Yeah,
today.
was it today?
Yeah, it was right
Oh, it was
after I.
first thing this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like before we even went to work.
No, maybe it was last night. I don't know. When
Because it
did he?
was
He got
no,
called up last night.
yeah, it was
It
last
was
night.
last night.
So yeah, but we talked for about 30 minutes via text, not saying anything. But one of the things he pointed out was they need to bring up that whole AAA team, that
They're all
lineup,
hitting
because
above
they're just
300. Have you seen their slugging percentages? They're all above 1,000. Same with their OPS, all above
there's only
1,000. And
one
it's the
hitter hitting
bottom of the
below,
lineup, dude.
and it's the number 9 guy.
Yeah.
Well, then he's hitting in the right spot. He's
Did you
bringing.
see one of the dude's home runs the other night that went like over the scoreboard?
No.
I don't know who it was, but it was a shot. The announcer guy hit it. He said, "And that's a home run."
So pretend for a moment you had so many injuries and so many guys that weren't performing. You decided, okay, let's bring up the AAA team all at one time. Can you imagine being the manager of that AAA team, having to tell 8 guys you're going up? Then on,
I did like the way they told Jackson. That was pretty
oh
cool.
yeah, yeah. Then not only do they get the call up, but can you imagine, you would appreciate this, Bob, from experience, being the travel agent and getting those 8 guys to the next stop, and how easy that actually could be.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Then imagine hopping on a plane as a normal dude like me or you, and you see dudes that are 6'4", 6'5", all ripped, carrying a duffel bag filled with baseball gear. How fun of a flight would that be for you to be on?
Oh, absolutely. Just think of the conversations you could have.
Exactly.
I'm picking so many brains. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me not to move seats, but I'm moving seats every 5 minutes. I don't care. Hey, ma'am, excuse me. 5 minutes. That's all I need. Thanks. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sir, excuse me. I need like 5 minutes. Thanks. Here you go.
Or
I would
find
go
that
up
one,
the aisle and
yeah,
do that.
find that one middle seat where you've got 2 of them beside you, 3 of them across the aisle from you, and then so there's 5, and then the other one's on the aisle seat right next to you. Then you wouldn't
I'm
have to
just
move.
I'm just not gonna follow rules, and I'm just gonna sit in the aisle with them.
I mean, it would be a fun trip.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely fun trip. Better than my flight to Sacramento, where not only do I fall asleep, but the dude beside me and the dude beside him both fell asleep, and the dude in the middle used both of us as a pillow.
This is why you don't fly Southwest. United only has 3 seats wide, so just saying, Aaron. Just
Well,
pay the
Southwest only has 3 seats wide.
no. Well, upgrade though to a better airline, which by the way is Chicago based, so you can never go wrong with a Chicago based anything.
Yeah, but most of the Chicago-based planes in that company were made by Boeing, and right now Boeing is falling apart.
Yeah, well,
Literally.
occasionally a door flies off here and there, a tire flies off. It happens.
So
You
what's the
know,
big deal?
it happens.
Something to do with the engine falls off.
Yeah, well, probably Chinese bolt holding it up. Who knows? QC is bad over in China, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I did entertain the thought of flying, since Legion pays for my flights. I did entertain the thought of flying out of Cheyenne to get to Sacramento.
Is that the
because it's
Raptors? You still got to stop in Denver.
yeah. Oh well.
Oh.
But it's the Legion paying for it.
Yeah.
Downside is it's like an extra $300
Yeah.
because flights out of Cheyenne are stupid. They're ridiculously expensive. So I'm still thinking about it though, because it would be really, really nice to just hop in my vehicle and drive 5 minutes home.
Yeah. As opposed to, what is it, 90 minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which, Ethan, I had to drive the DIA Saturday night.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was a bumpy ride. And I-25 was closed when you got to the car exit, closed all the way to Wellington. So I had to hop over to car and then go through 85. But at 85 on 85, they took me left at Greeley, so I didn't even go through Greeley. And then I wound back around, landed on I-76, so about 5 miles back south on 76. It was an interesting drive.
That's a quest.
And I figured, you know what? Let's take I-25 home, and if I have to get off and head back across to 85 to get home, I will. Sure enough, got to Wellington, and they had closed it.
Because it was
And
blowing 90 miles an hour.
yeah, and the dirt was blowing over the interstate, and you couldn't see.
Sounds about right.
Yep. So I
I
hop
lost
over.
power.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I even
That's
texted Nanny and Papa. I was like, "Did you lose power?" And they're like, "No, we got power." I was like, "Oh, I don't."
Oops. So I had to head to 85. When I got over to 85, uh, the Colorado DOT had trucks there in the road. They were blocking the road so nobody could go north. Well, they saw me and I needed to turn left and head north, and they're like, hey, come on through. So I went. I was the only vehicle on 85 from that point north.
That's cool.
That was a really eerie drive.
That's when you
It's,
floor it and go as fast as you can.
dude, it was the
Oh yeah,
wind.
never mind. It was blowing 100 miles an hour.
And lo and behold, when I hit Happy Jack there at South Cheyenne, 85 was closed going south. I wasn't supposed to be on that road, but DOT let me on that road.
That's crazy.
So I said,
Wow.
"Thank you, Jesus, for letting me get home," because that was a pretty adventurous drive. Not gonna lie, and you're not exaggerating when you say 100, 90 to 100, because those gusts were getting up to about 90, 95 in that
No, I know.
stretch.
I know.
Hmm.
I could feel it. It felt like my apartment was gonna blow off.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. And did you know that dirt going over the interstate with city lights highlighting it is kind of eerie?
Mm-hmm.
Makes it look like fog.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? Bob, you'll appreciate this. Um, the Colorado Excel Energy, they were shutting down power so as to not cause fires because of the windstorm.
Oh, I believe that.
They had their rolling brownouts or blackouts, should I say? And they still lost about 50,000 customers power.
I can appreciate that. But Wednesday morning, we lost power until I left to come to Billings on Friday afternoon.
Whew.
So,
And it was wind, wasn't it?
wind and wet snow. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we got like 9 inches of slush that just weighed down the power lines. But three of our substations took a beating from the
Oh,
lines being down and the wind, and yeah, it was brutal.
ouch.
Yeah, at one point they had all the roads around Glendo, anywhere close to Glendo closed. You couldn't go through anything.
No, 80 was closed.
I was just looking at closed roads just because I was bored. But
That's fair. That's fair. Bob, when does your high school baseball season start?
Started Monday,
Did it? Okay.
and I'm proud to announce Appleton North is 3-0. Thank you very much.
There you go. I don't remember who I was talking to, but they couldn't believe that Wyoming did not have high school baseball.
It actually works out better for you guys though,
Oh,
because you can get your
absolutely.
Legion team together. I was telling somebody I wish we didn't have high school ball. This year that our state tournament ends like the 17th of June. Well, that gives me three. I mean, if my team makes a state tournament, it gives me 3 weeks of Legion ball.
That's rough. Why don't you guys go later into July?
Because the state tournament has to be done before the national regional, the week before.
Right.
Well, national regional is set for this. You have to be there the 6th, so we have to have our champion certified the week before, which is like July. Was it the 30th? Something like that.
Yeah, 29th or 30th. I don't
So our
remember.
state tournament starts 5 days before that. The week before that, then would be our regionals to get to the state tournament, which is like the 20th or so.
Oh, okay.
So when you start backing things up, you go from July
Okay.
17th to or June 17th to July 20th. That's your season. Then you got a holiday in there.
Yeah.
So and graduation parties and basketball camps and it,
At least you don't have chess camps. That's one thing Laramie has had to deal with is their math camps and chess camps. Because apparently Laramie kids are really into their math and chess.
Land of the free, home of the nerds.
hey,
Sorry.
that could be an Olympic sport some year. You never know.
I thought that was pretty funny.
They do have Excel World Championships.
Yes, they do. It's not on the Ocho yet, though. Oh, actually, it is.
I
It
was
is
on the
on
Ocho.
Ocho. Yes.
You were on the Ocho?
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because almost anybody can get on the Ocho.
I mean, I was like on ESPN 2 or 3.
You were.
I don't remember which one it was, but
And the U.
oh, I
you were on
ESPN.
was,
you.
huh? The
Yes.
U. Ah,
Yeah.
that's the kicker right there.
Yep.
You haven't hit the big time though until you hit the Ocho.
I know that's the goal.
Is that not the pinnacle of sports, though?
Well, is belt sander racing sports?
If it's on the Ocho, it's got to be.
I know, and we were placing bets on marbles too. So
We were.
You might as well just throwing dice up there.
I didn't see that on the Ocho, but it
no,
Well,
probably
it should be.
was.
that's more professional though than belt sander racing and
Trust me. I'd love to see some gangbangers throw some dice and see what happens if they lose.
at 10 paces or what?
Depends. It doesn't matter to me.
That's hilarious.
I don't think
That is
Phil
too
would
funny.
insure that though.
No, he definitely would not. He definitely would not. Let's come back to baseball. Is there anything you guys have noticed that you're like, oh, this I was not expecting? Or, wow, that was freaking awesome to see. And I'm going to start with Ellie De La Cruz and his inside the park home run.
He's fast. He's fast.
Yes. Yes. So I like that. What do you guys got?
I was gonna say something, but now I forgot.
I'm surprised by the number of pitchers injuries this early in the year. I know the MLBPA is looking into that pitch count rule or the pitch clock rule, possibly leading to more of those injuries. But I don't ever remember 3 weeks into the season to have this many people on the DL.
Agree.
I remember what I was gonna say now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout has 10 home runs. Guess how many RBIs he has in those 10 home runs?
10.
10.
Which is 9 more than Carlos Rondon.
That's tough though. Normally you have more RBIs when you hit home runs, you're not supposed to have as many home runs as RBIs. You're supposed to have more RBIs than home runs.
Yeah, you're also supposed to have more runs than errors in the game, but then you have Oakland and Colorado.
Speaking of Colorado, that Tolia guy, he crushed one today. I was watching
Yes, he
it
did.
before baseball.
Yeah, he did.
Did
He
they
hit that
lose?
ball. Yeah, they did in the 10th.
Nice. I figured.
Yep, they
Figured that
did in
would
the
be the
10th.
outcome.
A lot of Houston Astro fans do not like the overtime or extra inning rules as of yesterday as well. So there's
The
that.
Yankees are really good, and I hate to say it, it makes me want to bite my tongue off, but the Yankees are really good.
Well, we'll see on the Yankees though, because the question on them is their pitching staff going to hold up?
No, that's true. But look at their lineup.
Well, yeah,
Look at what they're
absolutely.
doing. That's scary.
I mean, yeah, but you know the Yankees are going to score runs. The question comes July
You got to
is
stop
their
them.
pitching staff going to be able to hold everybody else?
Yeah.
I think that's Houston's problem right now too. Is their pitching staff is injury plagued, but their middle relief just does not have anything. It's not there at all.
I don't know.
So there's
Anybody's middle relief is there though. I mean, the Cubs middle relief is struggling. The Alzolay is struggling on the back end. They've got to get that fixed. The Brewers don't have middle relief. Um,
Seattle has middle relief. It's their freaking starters that can't throw the ball.
well, that's because they don't score runs for them either though.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
that that too.
but I can't believe the Rays are above 500. There was a team nobody was talking about out of the East.
As I stated in my article, the easy answer into who is not making the playoffs in 2024 would be the Tampa Bay Rays. I
Mhm.
can't do it because every time I say this is the year they don't make the playoffs, they win the freaking AL East.
I thought they'd be down just because of how strong that division is. You just assume Baltimore would be there. You would assume Toronto. I don't know what they're going to do if they don't start pulling this together. They got too much talent not to be in the top two in that division.
Exactly.
The Yankees perennially should be there because they have an endless payroll. And then you got Boston
Yes.
that's rebuilding with young talent. You figure they're going to be better. I don't know if anybody thought they'd be this good this early either.
No,
But
not at all.
so that leaves you the Rays by default.
That's just so weird. It just defies logic. At least in my mind, it defies logic.
Also,
I
the
could be
hotel
wrong.
at the Rogers Center is pretty cool.
Speaking of that, have you ever
I
looked at
want to
trying
stay
to
there.
stay there?
No,
Yeah,
but it's probably really expensive.
yeah. So they show it's first of all, it's a Marriott hotel. So that in itself is more expensive. Um, but then they also post Canadian dollar prices, and that's $769 a night, Canadian dollars. With the exchange rate, it still breaks down to $553 and change per night, American dollars,
That's not bad. I get to stay looking at a baseball field. I could stay up for 24 hours and stare at a baseball field.
and taking a game if you get it on a game
Exactly.
night. If you get it on a game night, and that was the baseball room. That was the field view.
I could look in a baseball stadium that's absolutely sick. It's probably one of the better dome stadiums in the league, if not the best.
Well, they also remodeled it this year too.
I know that's why I'm saying it.
Isn't that a multi-year remodel project? Because I thought they were doing phase two at this fall.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
correct.
I just think it would be really cool to get to stay in a room and lay in your bed and just look out your window and boom, baseball game.
So the only way you could do that because I looked at the pictures. The one room, um, the bed, you can see the field a little bit from the bed, but
I'll
you
move
basically got to
everything in
be
the room. I don't care. I will
you,
move it to
you
where I
got
can see the
basically
baseball
have to
game
put it
in the
by
bed.
yeah, you basically have to put it by the sliding glass door,
I can do that.
and I'm okay with
I've
that.
moved beds together before.
Yes. The other one actually has like this. You get two queens or a king, doesn't matter. And this one was even more expensive than the one I looked at. Um, but then it has kind of a step up work area, relaxed living room area type thing that has a couch that is a pull out bed. And that was like right next to the sliding glass door. So,
I just think it would be really cool to stay there.
oh, yeah, 100%. But 550 plus a night is that's a lot.
That's why it's just a one time deal.
That's also why I need to win the lottery
Yes.
that I don't play.
Yes.
So that leads me to an interesting question. How come the
Hmm.
Leafs haven't hosted the Winter Classic?
It's Canada and they know it's going to be cold.
Well, like it's not cold in Chicago in
I didn't say
January.
it wasn't.
I know. I'm just saying though. But that would just think of that venue at the Rogers Center for a Leafs Canadians game, if you will.
They did do an outdoor game at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, but that was sunny, dude.
And
Yeah,
it was hot.
yeah. The
Yeah.
So you might be able to put one up in Toronto. Just saying.
yeah.
But I guess
Open.
you're right. If it is at Rogers Center, you could because it's a dome stadium.
Yeah. Well, even if you open the dome, so you can
Does
really
that
play.
open?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
opens.
it opens.
Okay. Huh.
I think it's one of the few retractable domes.
Yeah. I from what I know, it's um Toronto, Seattle, Houston,
Houston's. Oh yeah, it does open.
Miami,
Yeah.
Miami. Those might
Arizona,
be the only four.
Milwaukee.
Arizona
Arizona.
5, and Milwaukee
Yeah.
6. 6.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
Huh.
cool for a Winter Classic at Rogers Center.
That would be fun. See, this is why Bob needs to be the czar of all
I don't
sports.
know. The Winter Classic in Seattle was sick.
And the roof was
So
open.
sick.
And the roof was open.
No, it was closed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Did they close? No, because
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't
it was
raining.
closed. It would have been colder.
It wasn't raining though.
It would have been colder if the roof was closed because it was kind of windy.
Because you're on the waterfront. It's
The
always
roof
windy
was
down there.
closed.
Huh. I don't remember it being closed.
Look,
Not
just
arguing
look.
with you.
Just look.
I don't doubt you. I just don't remember it.
But
Just
you know
look
what
at the
made that?
photo.
You want to know what made that a great game? That was Seattle is a great sports town.
Yes.
You
And
know,
Joey Decord played lights out.
well, and Marshawn Lynch was there in a Kraken jersey.
Did you
Oh,
know
that
he's
was
part
so
owner?
sick.
Yes, I knew that.
Okay. Yeah,
I
he's part owner.
saw some baseball legends as well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Actually, I was watching the Mariner game last night. So this is actually how invested players are once they're in Seattle. That they still maintain. There's most of them will maintain some association with their teams, um, more than just Marshawn Lynch does, and more than Gary Payton or Sean Kemp have. Watching the Mariner game last night, and Mike Flowers was talking about something and ordering bats and how many bats each player takes on the road, and all of a sudden he goes, "Yeah, oh, hey, look, okay, so Junior just texted me, and he's always got at least five, unless he takes one out because of a home run, and then it's four." So in the middle of a freaking game, King Griffey Jr. is texting the announce booth to put in his 2 cents on what players do. I'm like, that's
That's
kind of
funny.
cool.
Hmm.
but that also shows you the bond that they have as teammates, as discussed with the whole Tim Wakefield thing yesterday. They're close most of the time, unless you have like Mookie Wilson and who was the nut on that team? The 84 Met or the 80,
Dykstra?
80 yes, Dykstra.
Lenny Dykstra.
Dykstra and Mookie Betts did not get along well. Lenny Dykstra didn't get along with a lot of people,
No.
but yeah, those two just. Mm-mm.
I felt bad for his son. His son was in the minor leagues in Appleton, and everybody kept comparing him to his dad. And
Oh
this is
yeah,
when his dad was in prison. I mean, that I just felt bad for him because it's hard enough coming up through the minors, unless you're a super talented person, and
yes,
he had to live up to that and still trying to get a career going, which I don't think he ever did because he didn't last long in Appleton. But
no. Well, you look at Rocker.
yeah, yeah,
Texas. He's trying to revive his minor league career there with the Texas organization, and he was having a pretty good spring. I haven't heard anything since.
yeah.
Obviously, he didn't make the big league squad. I think he's down in Double A again. But live up to your dad's name. I mean,
Right.
John Rocker was off his rocker.
But he was still effective.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, you got to be a special kid to not just live up to, but surpass your dad's legacy
Mm-hmm.
when you're that type of guy.
Yep.
Speaking of Greg Maddux, um, pitcher that pitches today took out his daughter for prom. Do you remember who that was, Ethan? It was a huge viral picture at the beginning of the season. And he's in the Braves organization. I don't know. I'll look it up real quick.
Well, can you imagine
Um,
that conversation? Whoever his daughter's dating, the guy pulls up and his Greg Maddux opens the door. I'd probably be talking more baseball than about his daughter.
Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo took Greg Maddox's daughter to prom. If I'm Joey Gallo, I'm sitting next to Maddox all night long. Forget about the prom. Here's your flower. I'll take you to dinner, but I'm coming back home, bringing you home early so I can talk to your dad. I can't hear you. There's no sound for you, dude.
Now he's gone.
I think he had to start his phone to get out of it and get back in it.
I'm with you though. I'd be sitting next to him too.
Yeah, I mean, unless he had a gun saying "get her home early," then I might be intimidated. Maybe.
I'd still sit next to him.
We're gonna see if he can hop on back real quick before we shut it down because we're at $1:30 in time. So it is time to
These chats
call
are
this
always
one.
fun though, and they just go by fast.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do. There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, there we go. That was weird. You
My
just all of a
phone's
sudden.
about to die, so
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, maybe it's good because I told Bob that we're at $1:30 already, so we probably need to wrap it up because try to keep it at about an hour to an hour and 30. So we're just past an hour 30. So
yeah, my phone
all right.
died almost.
Okay. Well, I got nothing else. It's been great talking, Bob. Thank you, Ethan. Hey, thanks for hopping on real quick, even though
Sorry.
he's a little late. It's all good. Tis the season, man. It's baseball season.
Yeah, I'm tired.
What are you gonna do? So, and you got to work early in the morning, earlier than I do. So, Anyway, Bob, where can people find you?
On X at 99 Statman, Facebook, or at a Legion baseball game near you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ethan, where can they find you?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram if you want. You don't have to though. I tend to not like people; they annoy me.
You know, you used to be a people person
Then you got
No
until
way.
into
people
coaching.
ruined it.
That makes sense.
Yep. So
Tends to be
you
a lot
can,
of people.
well, when you work with the public, yes, yes, that Bob doesn't have to work with the public a lot. I do.
No.
You
Yeah.
do. Definitely. You can find me on X, right there is my X handle, Aaron1PK. A couple underscores in there, but you can find me just by searching. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. I don't use it very much, but unless I see something that I think you'll enjoy, Ethan, I try to send it to you. Let's see. Other than that, that's where you can find me, or you can find First Pitch Strike on any of your podcast platforms. We are there. You can find us on Instagram, X, and Facebook as well. Just look for First Pitch Strike. On that, I am done. I got nothing. Bob, you got anything else? Ethan, you got anything else?
No,
No.
I'm good.
All righty. Well, gentlemen, great to talk to you. Stay on for just a second, but everybody else, thanks for joining. Peace out.